Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. Let me just make sure everything's good to go. We are good to go. Glad to see you guys here. We've got Brooklyn, Ben, Girl Dev, Layton, and Michael so far. Glad to have you guys all in here, as well as everyone else who may be watching, not chatting. Glad to have you here. Yeah, been very random. A very, very random severe event today. I guess we'll just switch right on over. Let me load up. I should have done that before stream. You know, we'll load it up if we manage to get one of those warnings. But yeah, a lot of weird stuffs occurred today. We had a morning round of convection that ended up producing 90-mile-an-hour winds in south central Mississippi at like 5 a.m. We had tornadoes in western Florida at like noon. We had, what else did we have? We had like 3-inch hail in southwest Texas this morning. A lot of crazy things just sporadically went throughout the day, and a lot of it just occurred out of nowhere. Like, we went from quiet to just a big explosion, and then right back down to not the most activity. So we'll be covering for probably about 2-3 hours today. I don't know exactly how long I'm going to be here, but I'm here. I'm here. The severe weather is just not panning out how I thought at all. I mean, it is just not panning out whatsoever. We do have a severe storm still out here in Florida, but it's really not that big of a concern anymore, thank goodness. So that's the good news there. We probably won't be looking too much at Florida. I don't expect a whole lot there. I should probably, you know what, when the time comes, I'll open a radar for Missouri, because we are expecting some isolated strong to potentially a severe storm or two up there in Missouri, but nothing too over the top at all. We have a severe storm for 70-mile-an-hour winds right here in this region here. I think it just got downgraded now. Nope, still 70-mile-an-hour winds, but the continuation is downgraded. So this polygon here is for 20-mile-an-hour winds, whereas this one is for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So definitely a severe threat today. I don't know so much about the severe, yeah, how crazy it's going to be. I have it as 80-mile-an-hour winds and 3-inch hail possible today, because that's what the watch says. If you go to the SPC's watch area, they say, wow, they actually say 80-mile-an-hour winds and 3-inch hail likely. They don't even say possible. They say likely. Wow. That's quite the wording there, SPC. Tornado threat is very low. Now, we're looking at the potential for 2-3 weak tornadoes today being a possibility. Nothing too over the top. We've already seen one of those weak tornadoes, I'm pretty sure. We had one out there in Florida today. Yep. So we've already had one weak tornado, but it's just, it hasn't
been that over the top, really in like, in the last 3 hours, pretty much the timing I could cover everything died out. So I was going to go live at 1 o'clock and then things kind of settled down to the point where I was like, you know what, I'll just do monitoring stream, which is where I just wait and watch. And then we started getting more severe. So I decided to go live. But yeah, we did just get a report of 70-mile-an-hour winds out here. Small. Estimated. Somebody just stuck their finger up in the air and went, yep, this feels like 70-mile-an-hour winds out here in Pettis, Texas. So don't trust that estimated 60 to 70-mile-an-hour wind. So somebody just stuck their finger up in the air and said, yep, this is how fast the wind is. Let's see. Welcome, Haley. I'm doing okay. A bit on the tired side. I've been like that for the last 5 days. A lot of stuff happening in my life. Thankfully, in a bit of an inactive, severe stretch. Thank goodness. Ponderosa, Samuel, welcome to the stream. And yeah, glad to see you guys in here. This has been like the biggest storm I've had in like a year. Where are you at, Leighton? The only place where I think it'd be the biggest storm of like a year was probably the storm towards like either west of Panama City or this big wind bag out here. This was a pretty big wind bag towards Leesville, Texas. But no, I mean, nothing that I think would be a storm of a year for you. I mean, the only time I say that is if I get like a lightning strike in Virginia, then I'm like, hey, it's the storm of the year. Because normally we see like little to nothing up here. Liberty Hill, a lot of thunder, some rain. If that's the storm of the year, that's crazy because you're in like central Texas. Normally the storm of the year for you guys is like 4 or 5 inch hail. Not some light to moderate rainfall. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I'm just fixing up a few things. I gotta open up my tabs for severe weather. Gotta open up my satellite imagery on my model runs here. Ooh, we're getting the new 18ZH sweet. So the main severe threat was expected to be all day today. Like, we were expecting to have a long-tracked MCS all the way from this morning. But the storms just died out. Like, they just said nope. They literally just did not form upscale. Now, they did, maintain near severe status. I'll show you guys what happened. But we were expecting this to be a big line out here. This was supposed to be like this. Or even, barely even like that. Really more like this. I mean, we were expecting it to be like that and then move up to the northeast, like so. But I mean, you could see, so yeah, we saw the storms form, they clustered up, and then right there, they all weakened. Like, this is when they were really weak, and it was just this one storm that stayed severe for a while, then they went weak again, and now they're starting to re-intensify. So they just kind of stayed clustered and just semi-discrete, I would assume, I guess. I don't even know if you'd call that semi-discrete, kind of semi-discrete, more of clustered mode there. Just nothing impressive at all. And then let me just show you the model run of what we were expecting to occur. So, same ordeal. We expected them to fire off in a clustery, semi-discrete mode. And then look how fast they grow into a line and then move into Louisiana and Mississippi and then start to weaken and die out. So, yeah, that's one of your older model runs. And then here's the one that we were, this is the one we were looking at yesterday, which was just a whole lot of mess. And then this is our newest model run, which shows them semi-discrete right now, of course, clustered up. And then they move offshore and done. Done. That's the end of the severe threat. So maybe we'll only have 2-3 hours of a severe threat today. Let me go ahead and show you guys the risk for severe weather. Go ahead and get that out of y'all's way there. So here is the risk for severe weather today. Let me pull up our enhanced risk here. So we've got a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather out here in this orange area. That's an enhanced risk for severe storms. We also have a little enhanced risk out here too. Now, when I was about to go live, our enhanced risk was actually like this big. Like, we had a really big enhanced risk in all of that area there. They've kind of separated that into a tiny enhanced over here, which is now done. I mean, really, we're done with storms there. There's really not much more to talk about out here in Florida. We'll just watch. You know, we'll keep an eye on some of these little storms out in front. Keep an eye on this one severe storm, but we're pretty much done with Florida. Not expecting much. Main threats today, we do have quite a big risk for tornadoes. And by big, I mean a big 2% chance for tornadoes here, with a smaller 5%, which, like I said, is pretty much done. And then a 5% out here in Louisiana, Texas. I really don't think we're going to see a lot of activity inside that 5%. I don't think today's going to be a notable day for tornadoes. I do think it's going to be quite an issue for damaging winds out here. We've already seen a report of 70-mile-an-hour winds from somebody sticking their finger up in the air and just saying this feels like 70. We also have the hail threat here is at 30 sig as well. So hail, damaging winds, and a couple very brief and very weak tornadoes. That's all going to be a possibility. Like the SPC said, 80-mile-an-hour winds, 3-inch hail is likely, and 1 to 2 tornadoes is also possible. So we'll keep an eye on that. And that's just the watch issuance here. That's just what they said for like this severe watch out here. This yellow area. Let me actually pull it up on here so we can see it. Yeah, so this watch. I wanted to see where the watch started. This watch right here is where we have 80-mile-an-hour winds likely, tornado or 2 possible, 3-inch hail likely. So as storms move up to the northeast there. But these should move offshore in about 2.5, 3 hours or so. Michael, you're perfectly fine today. We're not expecting much severe weather. I'm still monitoring next week for severe potential, but there's nothing highlighted on the SPC right now. So next week is really a 50-50. We may end up with a big event, or we may end up with next to nothing for next week. So we'll just monitor it, and I'll let y'all know if anything does change. Tomorrow, there is a slight risk for severe weather. I do not plan on covering the slight risk because it should be in the morning hours to the point where I won't be awake for most of that risk. So I do not plan on live streaming tomorrow morning for that slight risk for severe weather. However, if we take a look at our HRRR model here, there should be some afternoon to evening storms. So here comes the big line in the morning hours. I mean, it's over by like 9 a.m. This thing should be off the coastline, so it should be very fast moving. And then we get some isolated thunderstorms out here towards anywhere between 5 and 9 p.m. Eastern time. But it's not expected to be anything too significant at all. It has downtrended considerably, thankfully. Even more than it already was. It was already anticipated to be a low-end event, but now it's even expected to be even lower than low-end. So we shouldn't see much of anything tomorrow, except for the morning round that might be possible out here. And like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty regarding that. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the probabilities on that. Let me show you guys what that slight risk is for. So it's for a 5% tornado risk, as well as a 15% wind and a 5% hail. So your main risks tomorrow, wind, hail, and a few brief weak tornadoes will be possible. But we're not expecting anything crazy tomorrow either. So pretty much not a whole lot is going on in the weather world. Just a lot of isolated, strong to possibly severe storms over the next 2 to 3 days. The only ones that are expected to be quite significant here are these these storms right here. We're expecting them to be significant for wind and hail. Some storms in Utah and Illinois. You mean Wisconsin? You mean Wisconsin and Illinois? I do see those. But yeah, I mean, even these severes are going now to just normal severes, non-significant. Let's open up another radar. I want to go over to the Houston radar because we just got another severe storm out here. So we'll load that up. Any day now. There you go. So there's a new severe that we just got out here towards Dayton. Liberty. Nothing too crazy at all. Just for the potential of some isolated, very small hail near 1 inch in diameter. And 60-mile-an-hour winds are also a possibility. So nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all. Is that a new MCD? It is. A severe damaging wind and a tornado threat continues. That's for Florida. Let's see here. Couple tornadoes remain possible within this environment. Wind gusts of 60 to 70 may also accompany the clusters and line segments. I don't see them saying anything about a new watch being needed just yet. Let's see. Struggling to maintain an upstream convection and decreasing surface-based instability. Lower level moisture advection along and south of the surface, or rather, a stationary boundary. Few thunderstorms are beginning to develop in the stationary boundary. So would that be the main threat? Would mainly be out in front, from what I'm hearing. Let's go see that. Yeah, it's sub-severe. Honestly, I'm not even sure why they issued that MCD. Yeah, MCD. My word. Yeah, I mean, just keep an eye out, just in case. But I'm not expecting anything out here anymore. I mean, this should really be done in Florida. So, main area to watch will be this area here. And the big question, the massive question that's going to determine if we see any severe weather out here is going to be, will these storms move northeast, east-northeast, or are they going to move dead east into the Gulf? Because if they move more northeast, then that's going to allow for, of course, severe storms to possibly persist up here. But if they just move east, well, then it's really just going to be a fish. The fishes need to watch out in that case. So we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, we'll be here for 2-3 hours today. So if you guys have anybody or know anybody who lives out here, can't English. If y'all know anyone who's out in this risk area, just give them a heads up. You can share the stream, and if you don't want to, just at least tell them, hey, you're under a risk for severe weather. You know, we got the level 1, 2, and level 3 risks for severe weather. The main area to watch today is right here. That's really where I think the main area to watch for the next 2-3 hours will be. So this includes areas like Victoria, Texas, Houston, Texas, Baytown, Texas, Lake Jackson, Texas. I mean, yeah, quite a populated area. But even, you know, in this area, I'm not expecting much, just isolated severe storms of 60 to 70 miles per hour and 1.5-inch hail that's going to be your main hazard. I know the SPC is calling for 3-inch hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds, which is, again, what I base the title off of. But I'm unsure. Especially with this out here, I mean, this has been a classic killer of severe storms and tornado threats in 2024. It's gonna probably leave a cool pool behind, and anything behind it is just gonna be barely able to maintain itself. That storm, though, in Liberty, I'm looking at satellite here, has actually managed to explode quite rapidly. What's the echo tops on that? Hold on. Let's see. I want to see the echo tops on that. Let's go to our Houston radar. Echo tops. Yeah, I mean, these are actually getting pretty high up on echo tops. So these might end up being a bit more of a severe threat for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, as opposed to just, you know, rain. Girl Dev, nothing. I don't think you're in a risk for anything. I'll check just in case. Yeah, a rumble of thunder. You might see a rumble of thunder. Or wait, what? You can't see thunder. You might hear a rumble of thunder. That's it. And some rain at 10 o'clock tonight. That's all we're expecting, per se, is really rain. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much just rain and some thunder. All right, let's go back over here. Like I said, Florida. You're good. I mean, Florida's good. If we have anyone watching from Florida, I do not see a severe threat anymore anywhere in Florida. Um, I wonder. Oh, Madison. Don't know if Madison is here. I forgot exactly. I think Madison lives. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's see if I can use my head here. Was it somewhere up here? Near Oakdale? Forgot. I have forgotten. It's been a while since I've gone to an exact area in Florida here. I know the southern portion was hit really hard, so if she does live up there towards like, Oakdale, she would have been perfectly fine. The hardest hit area was probably in between Pensacola and Panama City. So right over like the Destin area. Let's see here. The Eglin Air Force Base. That area was probably hit pretty hard with damaging winds earlier today at about 12 noon. So noon Eastern. Hello, Mary. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you in here. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is going to leave a cool pool behind. So basically, this is going to take up the energy from these storms. Basically, what that's going to do is the severe threat's not going to pan out. Long story short, severe threat's probably not going to pan out. How do we... Where do we have 8 severes at? I know we have... Oh, we're up to 4 over here in Texas, but where's all the others at? Texas, Texas, Texas. Oh, we have one in Illinois. Severe in Illinois out here, southwest of Chicago. Look at that, for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And we got another one up here in Milwaukee for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Where's the other 2? We're still missing 2. Texas, 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 Texas. Okay, they must have split these up. What's going on here? I see it. Look at this. That is probably a completely different severe. You see that? I bet that this is a severe thunderstorm warning right here, and then this is also a severe thunderstorm warning. So this one probably counts as 2, and then I can already tell you this one counts as 3. Look at that. This one's going to count as 3. 1, 2, 3 severes on this one storm. So that's where they actually are. So this is 1 severe. This is 1 severe. This is 3. I was wondering where all of our severes were. I was like, we are not at 8 severes. It's because we have like 3 for 1 storm. There we go. I was looking for this radar. So we'll continue to watch these severe storms here. We're not expecting much out of it at all. But we'll keep an eye on it. Getting very small hail. I think you're in a special weather statement for, let's see, 50-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail. So you're probably getting a little bit of something there. But that's considered a strong storm. That is considered a strong storm. Typically, the main thing is just stay inside with a strong storm. There's really not much more precautions you need to take. Now, if that gets severe, then you need to stay away from doors and windows. So we'll continue to just keep an eye on this ongoing severe threat. Make sure you guys have hit that like button and shared the stream. More people we have in here, the more people are weather aware. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. I know not everybody's off of school right now, so... hopefully out here in Texas, I don't think they'll cancel school for these storms, but hopefully at least the schools are aware of severe potential. You know what? I wonder if people are out of school today. Since Mother's Day was yesterday. Last time I checked, Lucky was in school. If anyone gets out of school, it's lucky. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him. Because if anybody gets out of school, it's lucky. His school gets out for, like, everything. I imagine he is in school. Alright, see you later, Brooklyn. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you whenever you get back. Oh, he already texted me back. Let's see. Oh, okay. He is in school. Whoops. Well, if Lucky's in school, then most people probably are. Did they already cancel that severe near Houston? Wow. That was a fast severe storm. Look at that. We'll keep an eye on that one, but I mean, it's already gone. So good news is we just lost a bunch of severes. We're only down to 4. So that's more reasonable now. We were at 8 for some odd reason. I was like, what in the world? Like I said, they had 3 severe storms for 1 storm. They had 3 severe warnings for 1 storm. Letting schools out early. I'm not too surprised. I mean, it is a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather. But this one, this doesn't seem to be that big of a severe threat. I mean, it is a 3 out of 5, so you do want to take it very seriously. But I mean, it just seems like these storms are not going to do a whole lot. The main reason for that is because they're moving east, not northeast. So, like, our main severe storms right now, what are supposed to be severe storms, and they're very low in severes. They're moving east, so they'll be offshore before you even know it. Wind risk is so small because we were expecting the potential for, believe it or not, a derecho was actually on the table today until we woke up. And then we were like, yeah, no. Nope. Now there is definitely not going to be a derecho. Because right when I woke up at 9 a.m., I saw those storms out there in Texas. I was like, yeah, no. No, they're too clustered. Too clustered, too far to the south. Because they formed on the far southern side of where I thought they would. The wind risk is, Oh, you're talking about the one in Florida? You might be talking about the one in Florida, Pez. If you're talking about that one, it's because the storms were already ongoing when they issued a new outlook. But I do believe, like, that is one of the smallest wind risks I think I've seen. One of the smallest 30 sig wind risks I've seen. Like, it's just right here. And then if you take off the shoreline, like, I mean, that 30 sig is very small. What, probably like 70 miles or so? 90, so it's not the smallest risk. Let's see, in Louisiana. I could already tell you Louisiana's threat, even though you're in like a high-end threat and they're calling for a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah, you're out here northwest of Lake Charles, so honestly, you're going to see storms, but I would be blown away if it's what they're saying. I mean, the SPC is talking about like 3-inch hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds. I would be blown away if that actually did happen. I would be completely mind blown. And the main reason for that is we have these storms that have moved out in front of the line. So these are going to take up the atmosphere's environment. So basically these storms are going to move up here. This is like your main line. What's supposed to be like a derecho right now, which is a line of damaging winds, is just this tiny little storm here that's going to move up to the northeast. And this environment's already been tampered with, so it's not going to be able to strengthen probably anywhere over here at all. Matter of fact, let me look at mesoanalysis. Southern Florida. I'll look at Southern Florida whilst I'm pulling up mesoanalysis. So Southern Florida, you're in a risk today. Storms are expected to fire here in about 40 minutes in Southern Florida. The main area for that risk is going to be out there towards the Lake Placid area. So really from Orlando down to South Bay. That's where your main risk is going to be in Southern Florida, which is more of eastern. But the southern tip towards like Miami, there's the potential for isolated thunderstorms later today towards 7, 8 o'clock. But we're not expecting them to be severe. I do want to take a look, though, at the current ingredients out here. Wow. So there's, like, no lower level shear at all. There is no winds in the lower levels. So regardless, your tornado threat is going to be next to 0. Your tornado threat will be next to 0 today in Texas. Even though we have a very large 5% out. Yeah. I'd be blown away if Louisiana even gets in on a severe storm, to be honest. Let's see. The timing for your storms, I don't know if I said it, so I'll just look here. So you're looking at about 6, 7 p.m. Eastern. About 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Central. A lot of trees came crashing down yesterday in Louisiana. Yeah. When did that happen? Near Lake Charles. What time was this? Oh, yeah, those were the morning storms. I remember those now. Or not really the morning storms, and I say morning storms as in not the main event, basically. I mean, they happen at like 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So, not really morning. Oh, man. Whenever I say morning storms, typically it just means that I'm referring to the event before the event. So, like, these storms in Florida, I'd consider those the morning storms, even though they happened at 1 p.m. Because our main event was expected to be this stuff here. They did just re-severe warn a storm out here towards Houston. Actually, that might be a new severe. So this was our old one towards Dayton. And this new one is going to be at Kingwood. Where's Kingwood? Here. So yeah, they just flopped a severe storm for one of these storms for 60-mile-an-hour winds, 0.75-inch hail. There you go. So just an embedded severe storm there. Vicksburg, at first, I thought you were going to be at a pretty high-end threat for severe weather. Like if you said, if you came to me yesterday, I would have probably said, Vicksburg could get in on quite the amount of damaging winds. But with all the downtrends that have happened over the last 24 hours on this severe threat, I'd say light rainfall, maybe isolated moderate rainfall is a possibility towards 10 o'clock tonight with a few lightning strikes. And that is 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Like, we've just consistently downtrended. We really have. Ever since yesterday, like 7 p.m. yesterday, ever since then, it's just consistently been a downtrend. So that's why I do think today's threat's going to underperform quite dramatically. Which is great news. That's great news, because guess what? If today underperforms, that means tomorrow's going to underperform. And the reason why is because today's threat is going to transition into tomorrow's. So if you guys remember that derecho from a couple days ago, or possible derecho, it still hasn't been confirmed. I'll just call it a very strong line of wind. that occurred a few days ago, and it went overnight, and it was strong overnight, so therefore it persisted into the next day. So if this line is weak now and it stays weak, then tomorrow's threat's probably not going to be anything too crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, there's definitely the potential for a severe storm in Louisiana. It's going to be like possibly one or two severe storms that just track through Louisiana tonight. The most likely start of those storms is these storms in Houston. We'll see how this progresses over the next 2 hours or so. There's definitely potential today for damaging winds and large hail. But the tornado threat is extremely low. It is extremely low. Even though, like I said, we do have a 5% tornado risk today. Here's your tornado threat. We've got a large 2% in that green region. And then that brown area, we have a 5%. And then we also have a 2%, like I said, that goes all the way up here towards the north. But I don't think that's going to be too much. Some models, in 30 minutes, models have one of these storms exploding and then tracking up to the northeast. I don't know if that's still on the models. It was there 2 hours ago. Let me see if it's still there. Yeah, it is still there, but I just don't think it's going to be much of an issue. These models have been so wrong lately, I don't trust it at all. Yeah, they've probably grounded some flights in Houston. There's a severe storm over Houston. It's nothing over the top, but it is enough to the point where you don't want to fly. I mean, you've got a whole lot of lightning, thunder, lightning out there. 0.75-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So basically some very small hail, gusty winds, and a lot of lightning. A lot of lightning. Why is the warning a circle? It is, huh? Down here, I saw that too. You know what? Let's change. I don't think we'll be looking at Florida again, so I might actually move that Florida site. Or should I move this one? Kind of want to keep this one here, so we'll just move the Florida one to Texas. Go to Texas. There you go. No, not this radar site in Texas. This, the Corpus Christi radar. There you go. Yeah, nothing impressive at all. Like I said, just some isolated small, maybe an isolated large hailstone up to 1 inch in diameter, and then some gusty winds. So main thing is just stay away from doors and windows. You'll be perfectly fine. The tornado threat is extremely low. Very, very low tornado threat today. And that's really the main thing that I track is the tornadoes. That's really why I live stream for hours on end. So if there's not like a big tornado threat, we don't stay live for too long. But we'll, for today, it depends on how big the threat is, right? Because like today, it's not that big of a threat. Even though it's a decent risk area, it just doesn't look like it's going to be anything interesting. So we probably won't be live for too long. We still have quite a while away to go. I don't plan on ending anytime soon, but this isn't going to be like a 10, 11 hour live stream like we had last week. Let's see. There's probably going to be a lot of lightning and thunder for sure. Maybe some gusty winds and small hail out there. You're in Port Arthur. The main reason why this threat doesn't seem to be as big, if we manage to see a solid storm, it could produce up to 3-inch hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds and even a tornado, which is crazy hazards. But Because we have this line here, I wouldn't even say it's a line. I just say this batch of rain showers that is formed. It's going to take some of our main storm ingredients. So these storms are just going to continue to stay very weak, barely able to maintain severe status. And then they're going to move into, this environment, which has already been tampered with. So overall, I really don't think we're going to see that much of a significant threat until possibly as we go towards central Louisiana. We might have the chance for an isolated, very strong storm out here. Yeah, inside that enhanced. I would say more towards this corridor here. I'd say more towards this corridor as these storms move up to the northeast. So it's definitely possible to see something big out there, but it should just be heavy rain, lightning, thunder, some gusty winds, and maybe small hail. The potential is decent today, but I really don't think we're going to see anything over the top. That's kind of been the story of 2024, really. Like a lot of the days in 2024, we'll end up saying, strong tornadoes possible, 4-inch hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds, moderate risk for severe weather. And then by the time we roll around, the capping stayed in, or we've seen storms cut out in front that have stabilized it. The instability is not as high as we thought, or something that just kind of destroys the threat. That's just really how it's been. Or for the high risk this year, I can't believe we actually got a high risk. That's crazy. For the high risk we saw earlier this year, it was actually the storm mode, which right off the bat, like one of the first things I talked about in my live stream on the high risk was the storm mode uncertainty. The SPC was set in stone for a semi-discrete mode. Models were set in stone for more of a clustered mode. Even though models said that it wouldn't be anything too extreme, the SPC did pull the high risk because the potential was very high, which we saw that with the oh my word, Barnsdale EF4 tornado. If we actually saw discrete storms in that environment like we did with Barnsdale's that tornado, we would have had long-tracked violent tornadoes that day. The only reason Barnsdale actually managed to produce a unfortunate violent tornado was because it was a prefrontal. It was a prefrontal supercell. I do want to go check Oklahoma here. Some people are talking about a severe threat on day 3. Let's see. So that would be the 15th. Yes, the 15th. Is that anything notable? Messy. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, no. No. Weird. Normally, if chasers are talking about a severe threat, it's normally, like, really present there, but... no thank you. That's messy. Yeah, yesterday was a really good threat for your area. We did just get... Is that considerable now? It is for 1.75-inch hail. So that's now warned for golf ball size hail out there in Victoria, which is south central Texas. Our main line is freaking sub-severe right now. Like, this is what we were expecting to be the main portion of the line right here to move off to the northeast. And it's sub-severe. Now, this is, we still have 2 severes down here. But those are probably just going to, they're just going to Gulf of Mexico. These were expected to move up here. And then as the cold front pushes through, move eastward. Pretty sure there's a cold front. Either cold front or dry line. Let me go check. It is a cold front. Most of the time it is a cold front. What is this? Oh. Apparently I have a risk for thunderstorms tomorrow, according to the Weather Prediction Center. Ooh, and then another risk for it Friday. I don't see a thing tomorrow. That's for sure. That is for sure. Maybe some rain showers. But I'd be surprised if that even gets a rumble of thunder out. Wow. Now that would be an impressive day. The GFS has me getting severe weather on May 23rd. That's 10 days out. There's no way that's going to stay on the models. I'm just checking at the models to see the future here. Get an idea. So they are calling for the potential of severe weather. It's just they don't know the magnitude of it just yet because there's a lot of uncertainty. So we very well could have severe weather Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the magnitude of it is still a question mark, to the point where they haven't highlighted any area of severe weather concern. All right, let's go back down to our severe storm out here. So we still have this considerable severe for Victoria, Texas. The good news is it's moving out of Victoria now. So most likely this is producing about the realms of 1-inch hail. It does have the potential to produce 1.75-inch hail here and isolated 60-mile-an-hour winds. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. That is Victoria in Texas. That is our only significant severe storm right now, and it's for hail. That is why it is a considerable severe, which is a level 2 out of 3 for a severe storm. We have a normal severe, then we have a considerable severe, and then we have a destructive severe. And this one's considerable. So we'll continue to monitor it closely here. And I will keep you guys posted on these severe storms for as long as we are live. I'm hoping this stuff gets in the ocean. Like I said, there will not be a live stream tomorrow morning at all, so just make sure you guys are hyper weather aware. Knowing my luck, tomorrow's going to end up being a big threat, and I'm going to sleep right through it. I'm going to sleep right on through it. But I mean, after today, yeah, there's the morning threat tomorrow morning. But I mean, like, after that, I don't know the next big severe threat. Like, there's stuff on the models, but I just don't know if it's actually going to really be a concern to the point where we have to really watch it. Definitely want to stay indoors, away from doors and windows. That is for sure. You don't have a good radar out there, so I can't, like, really see how strong the storm is, but it's strong enough to where you definitely want to be indoors, away from doors and windows for sure. But you should be perfectly fine. Northern Georgia, Southern Texas in trouble. Northern Georgia's perfectly fine, for sure. Isolated strong storms tomorrow. Southern Texas, yeah, a good chunk of southern Texas does have some severe storms. Let me just quickly grab this. But it shouldn't be anything too over the top unless we manage to see an embedded thunderstorm inside the main line tonight. If that occurs, then we could see 3-inch hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds. That's why we have that watch out for those hazards. But right now, it's really a low-wind severe threat. We are managing to squeeze out a significant severe storm right now, though, out here near the Victoria area for hail, 1.75-inch hail. So we'll just keep an eye on it. We'll just watch it. Watch it closely. But like I said, regardless, the tornado threat's very low today. Let me show you guys why. Let me show y'all why. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. So we could have a localized area of better ingredients late tonight for tornadoes. As the sun sets and the wind shear could increase in the lower levels. The most likelihood for that would be over dead central Louisiana. Like we're talking right about the Cotton Port area, just south of Alexandria. In about 5 hours here, around 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 4 hours, 20 minutes from now. But the reason why I'm not expecting much tornadoes is this. This is the main reason. This is our lower level wind shear. Typically, to see tornadoes, this stuff has to be at minimum, your main tornado threat for like the potential of a few tornadoes is normally 20. Normally, you need to see 20 here. We're at 15, 10, 10, 10, and then this area here, all this is below 10 to the point where it doesn't even say it. So you've got a little area of 10 knot wind shear here, 10 knot wind shear down here, and then 10 knot wind shear over here. So very unfavorable. Very, very unfavorable. Then we could go to our helicity. So this will let us see the future. Typically, you want to see this at 150. It is beneath 50. The only area we have a 50 to 100 in is up here. And everywhere else is at 50, less than 50 rather. So therefore, not favorable again. But like I said, later on tonight, so towards, 4 hours from now, 4 to 6 hours, we could have a localized area of better wind shear over central Louisiana, southeastern Louisiana, and that's when we'll probably have the best tornado threat. But even then, it's not going to be high whatsoever, because that's when your capping is going to start building in, your instability is going to start running out, your storms are going to be more messy and clustered, so more of rain showers. So even though you get wind shear in the night hours, your storms are going to start weakening. All right, they did just downgrade this. This is now warned for 1.25 inch hail. We also just received a report for this storm. Right over, so this is in Northeast Victoria. That's kind of the northeastern quadrant of downtown Victoria over, let's see here, right near, where is this? Lenora Drive, right near Lenora Drive, east of Business 77. We got a hail report sent in from emergency management of 1.75 inch hail. And there you go. There you go. It just appeared on the radar site. So there's the video sent from emergency management. And then this one is from the public. So 2 hail reports there of 1.75 inch hail, which is what warranted them to upgrade that hail threat. Marcus, you just gotta wait. There's no point in looking at model runs that far out. There's no point at all. Until the SBC really starts talking about it, like properly talking about it, there's really not any point. Like, it's probably just going to disappear off the model runs. And if it doesn't, then the SBC will talk about it, and then that's when you talk about it. Yeah, because like they said, predictability after day 5 decreases considerably. So anything after Friday could just poof off the model runs. So what's the point in talking about something if it's probably not going to happen? Let's see here. Alrighty, we'll continue to watch this one. Again, we're still at a few severes. All of them are in Texas. These are your main severes right now. They're all very low end. Did that one just get canceled? I don't see this severe anymore. Yep, there it goes. Oops. Accidentally hid the screen instead of the camera. They did just reissue this severe. It will pop up in just a second. So even though it expired, they just reissued it. Yep, so there you go. Reissued severe. 0.75 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds for the next 30 minutes. Does Texas have good traffic cams? I already told you, northern Georgia's perfectly fine. Southern Texas, depends on where you are. You'll probably be fine as long as you're staying weather aware. There's a, if you're weather aware, you will be fine. Let's see. Is this near? Okay. Do they have Victoria on here? They do not. They have Houston. Maybe I could get a camera in Northeast Houston. Possibly. Oh, they're terrible cameras. Okay, might as well just close that site. Terrible cameras, man. So we're down to 3 severes now. We, if we stay like this, we'll probably cut the stream an hour short. So make sure you guys share the stream with your family, friends, social media. Let everyone know that we are live. And if you don't want to share it, it's perfectly fine. At least just, if your friends or family are inside the severe risk, just send them a quick text, making sure they're weather aware. So watch it closely. Let's see here. There we go. Let's go back to that severe in Houston. Just nothing impressive whatsoever. Nothing over the top. Those storms in Missouri, Arkansas, they're going to try to get going, but like I said, I really don't think they'll be able to. I don't know why a model run shows like a ridiculous storm forming. I have no confidence in that occurring. So we'll just wait. Oh, let's go check on Florida real quick. So here is a current radar view in Florida. Wow. Huh. Well, those storms have definitely started to explode. They shouldn't be anything too over the top. Main threat with that will be around the realms of 50-mile-an-hour winds, as well as the potential for a land spout. So actually, this one is warned for the potential of a land spout in Williamston. How do they know that? Capable of producing a land spout. Wouldn't that warrant a tornado warning? I mean, if it's confirmed, typically we do see a tornado warning for it. But just a heads up, if you're out there towards Williamston, I do not know how to say that word. Yeah, just in front of this storm south of Gainesville. Highly recommend going indoors, away from doors and windows, just in case. So a tornado rotates in the sky. So for a tornado a tornado has an area of rotation, whereas a landspout doesn't. So a tornado has a mesocyclone that like forms up here. So basically, it forms from a supercell. Tornadoes form from supercells. Let's see here. So of course they're gonna rotate a bit, but pretty much land spouts just they can form without a really good area of rotation. So a tornado has to have like this very intense area of rotation, this big mesocyclone. Most of the time, the supercells look classic and have the hook echo, and then it drops a tornado. But for a land spout, typically they're very weak, very brief, and can go very much unnoticed by radar. They're very difficult, if not near impossible, to detect by radar. I forgot. Does this have a lightning detector with it? I know I got a place file for it, but I don't know if I took that. Holy, maybe not that one, but I'll just show y'all here. Look at all this lightning. Look at all that lightning. Y'all think it's actually producing that much lightning? I'm gonna check satellite imagery. If it's producing that much lightning, that is ridiculous. Let's go to satellite imagery. Let's go to... Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. The lightning activity on this thing has exploded. So here's your lightning activity with these storms over the last couple of hours. Let me load it up for you first, so that way you guys don't get a migraine. Alright, here you go. So here's the lightning activity and the flash density. Oh, come on. Load up properly. There you go. So really a whole lot of flashes. And a whole lot of lightning. Watch it towards the end, too. Right here. Look at that. That is crazy. The lightning flashes just explode. We can also do a different one, too. So, if we just wanted to do, for instance, just the flashes, you can see those very clearly. I wonder if we could go to localized sectors. I have not tried this before. Yep. Look at that. So now we're even more zoomed in. That is ridiculous. Imagine living northeast of Houston with this. It is probably a light show and a half, man. Very southern tip of Texas. You guys shouldn't see much of anything until possibly later on today. Isolated risk for a severe storm towards 11 o'clock. But it's not expected, but it's possible. It's possible, but not expected. If it does occur, main threat will be isolated wind and hail. Oh, I'm shocked they kept that enhanced risk. I'm honestly shocked. Oops, wrong page. Convecutive. So there's your new outlook. I'm blown away that they kept that. Wow. 5% maintained. Hail threat maintained. Wind threat 2. I'm blown away with that. Wow. That is crazy. That's a flooding MCD right there. All right, let me go back over here. Oops. Okay. Did I do this one? Yes, I did. So we'll continue to watch these cells here as they move off to the northeast. I'm trying to pull up their briefing. All right, here we go. Severe storms are expected to continue throughout tonight from south central and southeastern Texas across Louisiana, as well as into the Florida panhandle. The potential exists for multiple corridors of significant wind gusts, very large hail, and a couple tornadoes, or rather a few tornadoes. No major changes exist to the new 20Z outlook. Interesting. It is still possible for an overnight progressive storm cluster and or MCS. So they still kept that enhanced risk. Yeah, nothing too crazy with the new outlook. They did also expand that marginal slightly more north into central Missouri. That's a lot of lightning. I'm getting blinded by that. I'm gonna move that over here now. I mean, considering how this is playing out right now, like I said, I'm really blown away that they kept that. Hold on. Let me check this model run real quick. I wonder why they kept the 3 o'clock. I wonder why they kept the far western extent of the enhanced. Look how far west the enhanced goes. I mean, it's still for San Antonio. Despite the main, like I said, quote line is here now. This stuff's moving offshore very soon. Like, this is going to end quick. That's why I probably won't continue for the normal 3 hours. Some enhanced risks we stream for 2 hours because they underperform. Some we stream for 3, and then other enhanced we stream for 10. So it really just depends. But typically I try to stream for 3 hours for enhanced risks. I might not meet that today. Make sure this is muted. It is. Let's see here. I just don't feel like this is gonna happen, you know? I have a feeling not much is gonna occur here. Okay, stop lagging on me, College of Do page. Why does College of Do page always glitch on me here? There we go. Uh-oh. 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 Hold on. Uh-oh. That's not good. Guess what we have? Guess what we've just received from the National Hurricane Center. There it is. There it is. They've just added a 30% chance for tropical cyclone development. Uh-oh, there you go. That's probably going to be our first real chance for a tropical storm. We had an AOI in the Atlantic sometime earlier this season. But this one's going to have a real chance to try to do something. Now watch a big batch of wind shear get in front of it or something. I do still believe it has a decent shot at forming into a tropical storm. Let me check another model run here. Ew, not that one. There you go. Well, we've been talking about it for way longer than that. We've been talking about it for forever. I mean, we first called out this area. I want to go check how long ago. About 2 weeks ago. The first time I called it out was actually in my hurricane video 9 days ago. But I did see it beforehand on the anomalies. Ooh. Hold on. The CPC just added something else too. I just checked that. So that is interesting. Now the CPC's also added this. So this is the CPC. We're switching branches here. Now the Climate Prediction Center has added a large, heavy precipitation risk, slight risk there. Typically what that means is that you're going to have a trough that pulls through. And with a trough that brings rain, it also brings something else with it too. That is probably going to be our next severe event. That's your time frame for your next severe, major severe threat, right there. We'll see how major it actually ends up being, but typically once they highlight a slight risk there, normally that's a sign that they're watching for the potential of severe weather. For the CPC, it just means rain, but with rain and especially a large area like that, you're gonna have a trough, which you can see on the GFS model. There is in fact a trough. I did the wrong tab. There you go. So that's probably going to be our next severe event. We are down to one severe. This is it. This is it. This is your big risk for severe weather. Man, what a downtrend. This has got to be one of the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the biggest downtrends I've seen this year. Like, there's a chance for one storm to form towards central Louisiana tonight near 6, 7 p.m., and that could be something significant. But if that doesn't form, I wouldn't be surprised if we go throughout the rest of the day without a severe storm in sight. So we'll keep an eye on this one. But honestly, looking much better for the potential of rain and no tornadoes today. I mean, we're down to just one severe. Like I said, there's technically, all right, we are up to 2, but it's one storm. Well, shoot, now we just got a third one. You'll see that come through shortly for this side. So this line is starting to, it's starting to be present. I wouldn't really say strengthen or intensify. It's just still there. I mean, it was severe, basically it just cell merged. Ooh, big severe. That is one weird severe. Holy. That is a very weird severe. But like I said, this is probably going to move offshore, so I don't really know what our enhanced risk is for. I am shocked they maintain that. I do not know what the enhanced risk is for anymore. I am blown away they actually maintained it. Let's see here. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We will keep an eye on it. Well, yes, I do know. I know the risk, why it's there. It's there for the wind and the hail, but I don't see that actually occurring. Like, I don't see a model run where that occurs. I'm just looking at a loop of the severe weather that we've seen. I'll show it to you guys because it's pretty awesome, to be honest. Here's the stretch of severe weather we've seen. Oh, man. I'm not going to be able to show you guys this perfectly. Dang it. No, it's gonna ruin it. Well, I'll just do it as good as we can. There you go. That's as good as I can do it. There you go. So that's all the severe events that we've seen, and I've covered most of them. Most of them I covered. I took, I think, 3 breaks. I didn't cover. I covered that. Covered that. Covered. This one is the one I took a break on. I took a break on this day. So I did not cover that threat. Then I covered this one. Covered. Took a break. I believe we covered that one. Yep. Kinda. Briefing / coverage. Covered. And then covered. So I took like one. I know I took a break sometime over here. What day did I take a break? Was it this day? I don't know which day I took a break. Because I know I took one on Friday, but I don't remember which one I took before that. Oh, we could do it for tornadoes too. Look at this. This one's going to be good too. Freaking 5% outbreak. I still, to this day, don't know why they did not upgrade that. Because every model showed ridiculous tornado potential for this day. And they kept it slight. And then we had 150 some tornado reports. What the heck was that? What? What? I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Heck. Man. Yep, and there's your 10 sig, which I don't know why they put that one there. And that 10 sig was justified. They did a great job with that outlook. That 15 sig was late. Because we called that one too. I said it on Twitter that Nashville and to the south. I said the Nashville area should be dead 15 sig and around it too. We ended up with 2 tornado emergencies on that day. If they did not do that urgent upgrade, that would have been 2 Tories. Well, I believe one was on the edge of the 10 sig, and then the other one would have actually been in a 5%, not a 15, a 5. Because of that urgent update, it was actually in a 15 sig. But if they didn't do that, it would have been in a 5. And they continued with normal outlooks. None of this. I mean, I don't really have any arguments here for any of the other 5%. I'm still upset about this one to the day because, like, that I was expecting a moderate. Like I told you guys that we would most likely see a moderate. Like I was expecting a moderate on that day, and they just kept it 5%. And then we saw like that was the biggest outbreak of 2024 tornado wise. That is to this day still the biggest outbreak, which we still have 6-7 months left of 2024. Our last big potential for May is going to be towards the 21st through the 25th. That's probably going to be our last big potential, and then I really don't think we'll see anything too major beyond that. So I think this season's actually starting to close out. Like the main season, but we're going to have probably another... We're going to have a lot more. It's a given. We're going to have a lot more tornadoes this year. And they put me at a 15% for who knows why. Then day of, I ended up in a general thunderstorm risk. Oh, man. Hello, Caleb. Alive. It's about as good as you're gonna get. Let's see here. All right, we'll continue to watch this line here as it moves off to the east southeast here. It should eventually move offshore. We'll watch that occur. But yeah, if you haven't watched the stream in the last 30 minutes, the National Hurricane Center just did an urgent update to add a day 7 30% chance for tropical storm development out here, or tropical development as a whole. So we do have that out there. If you've been on this channel, you know we've expected that for the last week, more than a week. So no shocker, but they did add that. We went over that in yesterday's stream too. It's gonna go either one or the other way. It's either gonna become a hurricane or it's not gonna do a thing. It's either gonna do one or the other. So we'll keep an eye on it and see which one it trends towards. But I mean, we're still gonna have to wait a good solid. It's the 13th? Yeah, we're still gonna have to wait a good solid 4 days. I mean, it's not an invest or anything, so we may do our first hurricane forecast, or hurricane update, rather, of the 2024 hurricane season with that tropical wave there. But now we'll just wait for this stuff to slowly die out. We do have an enhanced risk, but I mean, like I said, I'm just gonna call it quits at 2 hours because I really don't see the need to stay live for much longer than that. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow night for a weather update. I won't be live again tonight, and I won't be live tomorrow morning for the severe threat. It doesn't look that big at all, thankfully. So I won't be here. But I mean, I'll keep an eye on it just in case. Okay. So we'll watch this batch of severe storms. Let me switch to this radar. Oh, they did just issue an MCD here. I forgot to mention that. It's 5% chance for a watch, so we shouldn't see much. So we'll just keep an eye on this little line here. It's not considerable anymore, so the warnings are for 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1.25 as well as 1.5-inch hail. So yeah, we'll still do a briefing tomorrow. For probably an hour. We'll probably do a briefing. What's tomorrow? Tuesday? Ooh, shoot. Tuesday. Ooh. I don't know when I'll be able to do the briefing tomorrow, but I'll try to do a briefing tomorrow. Hello, Betty. Welcome to the stream. You're tuning in to the last fourth of the stream. I'm only going to do a 2-hour today because it just doesn't seem like it's going to be anything too crazy. I can't tell you how bad it's going to be in southern Mississippi, but it shouldn't be anything over the top at all. I'd watch out towards 11 p.m. Your time. Damaging winds, small hail, and a very brief tornado may be a possibility. So I'd watch it, but it's not supposed to be anything crazy at all. It's very isolated. It's a very isolated severe chance. This is actually starting to move more northeast as opposed to east, so this just might stay on shore a little bit longer. It's very isolated, though. Some people may end up with 2-inch hail, and other people may end up with nothing. So at first we were thinking it was going to be a line of severe storms, but now it's probably going to be broken up. So we may have like a severe storm that tries to form up here in the next 2 hours or so. Maybe a severe storm that tries to occur out here. Maybe this one could still be severe a bit longer. It might stay on shore long enough to become and continue to be severe. But the weird thing is, like, that's not even inside the main tornado threat, which isn't, it's not too shocking considering it's not really big of a tornado threat. But, I mean, that's like our main area right now. I just don't see how we're going to see an MCS tonight. I don't know what the SPC is talking about. um, yeah, I just don't know. Mm. Yeah, that was for this morning, Marcus. That already ended. We saw one tornado. That's it. That's all we saw. Which, that's not really like a, just one. That's one tornado. Yep. There's the National Hurricane Center. Special weather tropical outlook has been issued for an area of low pressure that is expected to form later on this week across portions of the eastern Pacific near the coast of Mexico. The system currently has a 30% chance of development through early next week. And I mean, it definitely could try. It could try. It could try. Hello, James. Welcome to the stream. Let me go see this real quick. All right. So we're just watching a few of these severes. It's just a small line here that's moving east. We could get upwards of 70-mile-an-hour winds out of it in the next hour or so. But I really think it's pretty much done, really. In terms of, the big severe threat. Which it's weird because, like I said, it's not like, really wasn't that big of a severe threat. It's just a big downtrend. Big downtrend, man. Absolutely crazy. So, I mean, that's good news. You could see where it tracked. You could see it. I mean, we had our morning storms, and random wind report in Illinois. We had our morning storms here with that one very weak, very brief water spout that moved on land. Random report in Louisiana. And then our other line here. So just two little areas. Two areas here. And you can see our only significant report was the report here. That black square is a, damaging wind report, right? Wind report should be, yeah, the 82 one. 82 Monarch wind report there. So we'll see. Can you check out Indianapolis, Indiana for tomorrow? Welcome, Blondie. And today and tomorrow, please. Thank you. Shouldn't be anything crazy. I can already tell you that right off the bat. We're not expecting anything over the top. Pretty much over the next 48 hours, it just looks like a lot of isolated, moderate to heavy rain showers and some rumbles of thunder. Very isolated. So you may get like a heavy downpour. I don't know. Let's just say at, let's see. It's really going to be tomorrow will be the main day for you. So you may get like a heavy downpour near 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and then for 2 hours you'll be clear, and then you'll end up with another downpour towards 7 o'clock, something like that. So very isolated. Very isolated. I don't expect it to be anything over the top. Let me go check Let's see. I want to see the ingredients from my area on this particular day. No wind shear. Yay. Oh, of course, Betty. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of hurricane coverage this season. I only say that because I'm expecting it to be extremely to possibly hyperactive. We'll see how dead wrong I am. Last season, I didn't do too bad. Last season, I actually went under than what we actually saw on the named storms. I called for 19. We had 20, so... Hopefully that's not the case this year, because, geez, I'm calling for 26, I believe. So that means we'd have to get 27 if that is the case this year, which would be insane. To put it in perspective, that's only 3 hurricanes, or rather 3 tropical storms less than the 2020 season, and I believe that would be 1 less. 27 would be 1 less than the 2005 hurricane season. We saw, let's see. Oh, we saw 27 in 2005, so it would actually tie with 2005. So, like I said in my hurricane forecast, I think we're gonna we're gonna get very close to competing with the second most active hurricane season. It will compete with years like 2005 and 2020. Let's see here. I like storms, but tornadoes I don't like it, especially at night. Yeah, good news is we're not expecting tornadoes today at all up there. It is the possibility for a brief weak tornado today, specifically out in this area here. That's where I think the highest potential for a brief weak tornado is today. That's it. I mean, models say that we could have a risk for a brief tornado up here as well, which is why the SPC has a 2% tour up towards this area. But it's not a high chance, so we'll keep an eye on it. But regardless, it shouldn't be a notable tornado threat today at all. And I wonder if these big hailstorms are going to last until they hit Texas, because we might see in about an hour or 30 minutes to an hour, we may see a severe warning generally out in this area as these storms push out to the southeast. So we'll keep an eye on those storms too. They should not be a big deal at all. I don't think any model picked up on those. I could go check real quick. They're expected to die out in an hour. So they shouldn't be anything crazy at all. Let's see. HRRR had this thing becoming a beast of a supercell now. It's like nothing. It's literally like nothing. Which is why I said I don't really trust HRRR with the big severe threat today. So I know our coverage has been pretty short recently. I mean, we only did an hour yesterday, which was a briefing, and then today we're only doing 2 hours. But thankfully, that's because the severe weather just hasn't been like anything impressive at all, so there's no need for it. There's no need to be live yet again. Main reason for this live stream was just to cover the last bit of significant severe weather that was possible for the next 2 hours, so. Yep, we did that. I'll be live sometime tomorrow night for a briefing again. Just to talk about the... I wonder if the hurricane, or the tropical storm, rather, potential... I wonder if that's going to end up being the main highlight for tomorrow's briefing. It might actually be. Might actually be. So just make sure you guys have hit that like button and share the stream with your family and friends and on social media. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. They did just issue a new MCD. Man, the potential for a tornado or two, and the potential for what? Where? Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Um, chance for a few isolated damaging winds and large hail, with also the potential of a tornado or two as this continues to move east, as well as this continues to move east. But what I was saying where for is out here. So this MCD, this portion of the MCD is for the potential of, get this, 3.5-inch hail. What? Wow. That's crazy. I'm not sure why they said that. I know why. I know why. It's because of these storms here. But these are probably just going to cluster up, and honestly, they'll probably die out in 30 minutes or so. If not, then that's where they're going to be an issue. Oops. I guess the environment's favorable for the hail, so... Main issue is hail today. Which is nothing special in Texas, which is why, like I said, I'm not going to cover for much longer. Let's see here. Alright. Is Nightbot disabled? No. Nightbot's right there. Caleb, do you need glasses, buddy? Right in front of you there, dude. Yeah, so the main severe threat is really going to be these storms here. According to the SPC, at least. So if you guys do live right out immediately in front of those storms, watch it closely. Potential for 3.5-inch hail, I guess. According to the SPC, yes, I personally don't think there's that big of a severe threat. Yes, you know, we'll probably see some hailstones near 2-inch in diameter, but 3.5 and a marginal and a slight risk. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. Let's move this over here real quick. Get out of here, Discord. We'll move this one to nowhere. We'll close it out. We'll only use the Houston radar. And let's look at this one. Yeah, they definitely have hail potential for sure. You can see the small hail core, big hail core, and then small hail core, small hail core. So we'll see what we manage to end up getting out here. They said 4,000 to 5,000 instability, I believe. Let me go look at that. Let me go see if the SBC used meso-analysis. Yeah. Is that where the storms are? How do I see the... this one. Yeah. So if they move north, they're done for. So there's this very sharp corridor of a very favorable environment that is like right in here. So if storms are able to fire in this area and south, there's a really good chance they're going to be able to produce very large hail. Matter of fact, I'm sure I can just show y'all it with this program here. Yeah, this shows it decently well. So if storms stay in this environment, that's where it's very favorable. It just updated again. Basically, here. Basically here. Now, what this doesn't show is the capping that's in place. So if I switch to this, yeah, there's your capping that's in place. So that's your capping. So that's why storms need to be south of, like, right here. And then we can mix that with the instability. Yeah. So really, if they're in that area or south, they're going to be in a favorable environment. And you can see they're moving east, so the capping might be a bit of an issue. It's really going to be a 50-50 on those, or if those are going to be big storms or barely anything. But we did just get a severe warning for this one for 1-inch hail, 50-mile-an-hour wind, so we'll keep an eye on that. We also got a severe storm, guess where? No, not Illinois. Montana. Montana decided to join in on the action out here with a severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds up there. But there was a severe warning in Illinois, yes. It was out here in Chicago. Southwest Chicago, right there. This is old radar scan, of course. This is at 3:04 Eastern. It's about an hour 20 ago. Or an hour 30. Did we get a severe for Florida? Yes, we also got a severe for this storm here in, is that Haines City, Florida, for 1-inch hail. 1.5-inch hail, actually, in 60-mile-an-hour winds. So we are up to 5 severes now. Because we just got another one. It's the third one that just got issued out here in, this time, Louisiana. All of these are for hail and the potential of isolated winds. Just got my NOAA weather radio. Nice, Mary. That is good news. Let me go see this. Nothing there. So we'll continue to watch these storms. This one's sub-severe now. Your main line is sub-severe. Your main line is sub-severe. Yikes. That's a doozy. The main potential now is probably going to be with these storms here. That's going to be your main enhanced risk, which is very weak. So because of that cool pool, look at that. So the SPC just acknowledged all that capping and the lack of instability to the north. So they just removed that massive chunk of the watch. So like I said, this small corridor here is where it's going to be favorable. I wouldn't be all that surprised if they issue at least a MCD for the potential of a watch issuance down here. Especially if this storm shows signs of intensification as it moves to the northeast. But, yep, that is going to be a rundown of severe weather for the day. So we'll start wrapping it up here in a bit. Because like I said, there's really none of this is significant right now. This is probably going to be a very significant storm if it can maintain itself as it goes into Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Just a lot of isolated severe storms, but nothing that is over the top whatsoever to the point that I think we're still needed here. Let's see. Yeah, there is a decent storm heading up towards you. It's nothing crazy, though. Alright, not surprised if we issued that severe at all for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. They're all weak. I mean, we've got a severe for 1-inch hail 60, 1-inch hail 60, 1-inch hail 50, 1-inch hail 50, 1-inch hail 60. There you go. So nothing significant or considerable. The only ones that may be in the near future is this batch of storm development that's moving off to the east here. Hello, Girl Dev. Welcome back to the stream. So we'll just keep an eye on these. Doesn't say you got it on my end yet, Caleb. What's up with all the radars down? St. Louis, Evansville, or actually that's the terminal in St. Louis, Paducah, Clarksville, Evansville, terminal in Indiana. It's like 4 or 5 of them out there. Tomorrow night, Simul. Yep, there it is. It sure is. You are correct. That is a strong storm now for 50-mile-an-hour winds and half-inch hail in Peoria, Illinois. So we'll continue to see what happens here. Hello, Pete. Yep, Lucky's driver finally got a win. Sure did. Glad you've been in here just listening in the background. Hopefully your day's gone well. Hopefully it's a bit better than mine. My day's not been bad at all. Let's see here. And now it is the waiting game. Give me just a moment. Okay. Hello, Braven. Welcome to the stream. Basically, we're just waiting for 13 minutes. We're going to conclude in 13 minutes. I'm not going to continue for any longer. I don't see a point in it. Now, for sure, if we had like a tour possible severe, we had something interesting, I would definitely continue. But the main issue here is going to be the potential for some large hail in this area as this storm moves off to the southeast over the next hour. And this storm here could also produce some isolated damaging winds near 60-mile-an-hour winds out there near the Lake Charles pointing north area in Louisiana. This storm's moving offshore, so I don't expect that to be much of an issue. Uh-oh. That's hooking. Oh, man. That is literally just weakened. They warned that as it's weakening? Alright. Yeah, so if that had... What? Why didn't they warn that before? Should have been warned here. Right there is the first sign of rotation. Then it strengthened. I wouldn't be surprised if that dropped a brief tornado. What's the probability of debris on that? 80%? Not high enough to convince me, honestly. It could just be contamination. But yeah, if you're out there and I don't know if that's island or isle. I'm going to say that's island. You're out there in High Island, in southeastern Texas. Make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows, as well as close to your safe spot, just in case that goes tornado warned. But I really think that's weakening now. So yeah, that's the type of tornadoes. If we see tornadoes, that's what it's gonna be from. It's gonna be from little storms that try to spin up a weak area of rotation like that, and then before you even realize it happened, it's gone. So that's gonna be the type of tornadoes we deal with, which are gonna be very brief and very weak. Not much of an issue. Welcome back, Brooklyn, for the 300th time. Oh. That severe is for 35 more minutes. Let's see. That one's weakening too. I mean, really, it's only. I don't even know why they put a severe on that one. It's already done. It's really only just this storm out here in Texas. That's really the main one that I'm watching. Everything else is just weak. It's all weak. So, yeah, I'm going to take the rest of the day off here, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow for a 1 or 2 hour live briefing. And honestly, we may take a bit of a break there for a bit longer. I mean, it just doesn't look that active. It just does not look that active. Like, I'm not convinced we're going to see anything worth covering or worth even doing a briefing for, so we'll do a briefing tomorrow just in case anything changes, so that way I can update y'all on it. But I mean, I don't see anything like, I don't see anything too crazy. I really don't. Other than the whatchamacallit thingamabobby, 30% chance for a tropical cyclone formation in the eastern Pacific. Which, if y'all are just tuning in, didn't see that. Let me see if that shows on my program here. Actually, I want to see. This is Atlantic, actually. So that's not going to show up there. What about this program? National Hurricane Center? Shoot, I don't even know if it has that. Do you have the National Hurricane Center Outlook? Aha! Nope! It has it, but it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. Dang it. It's for the Atlantic, not for the Pacific. Stubborn thing. Fine. We'll go to this one. There you go. There's your 30%. There is your 30%. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up the stream, y'all. My apologies for it being a short stream. Yeah, I expected to do longer today. Honestly, like, I was literally ready for like a 8-hour live stream today. Like, when I woke up, I checked the satellite and the model runs. I was like, what the heck happened? Because I was ready to be live at like 10. I was ready to be live at like 10, 11 a.m. all the way until 4 p.m. Then take a quick 2-hour break and then go live from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. But nothing happened. It just did a bird fart on me. It did a bird fart on me. It did nothing. It's terrible. Yeah, I saw that one coming. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-an-hour winds now. I'm not shocked with that. That's going to be a possibility. That's a given with today's risk. Real quick before we end the stream, just to point out why they did that. There's a little pocket of velocities of 60+ mile-an-hour winds there. They saw that from the Lake Charles radar. That's enough to warrant them to upgrade it to 70, so therefore they did. So if you are out there towards Lake Charles, that's your main event. That is your main event right now. So this is your main enhanced risks. That's what it's for. It's for that one storm that's now tracking through Lake, or about to track through Lake Charles. I'll still be here monitoring it for another 45 minutes. I'm going to end the stream actually for an hour. So I'm going to end the stream in 5 minutes, but I'll still be here until 5:45. I'll still be monitoring it. Um, I I don't plan on going live again, so I mean, just make sure you have other ways to receive watch list warnings, and make sure you've hit the like button on today's stream, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, have a great rest of your day. We're going to go ahead and conclude the stream here. Like I said, just a brief stream. Really didn't see a whole lot of stuff to cover. Honestly, that's like the most significant severe we've seen, and it's right once we're ending. We did cover one for 70-mile-an-hour winds, another one for 1.75-inch hail. So, yeah, nothing too over the top, though, thank goodness. And the storms out there in Mexico are weakening before they approach Texas, so hopefully that will be the end of that threat, even though it barely even started. So really just, if you're out in front of that storm in Lake Charles towards Lafayette, Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Hammond, out towards New Orleans, just keep an eye on it. I have a feeling that it's going to be able to weaken over the next couple of hours. I feel like it's not going to be anything too over the top, but that is definitely the #1 storm to watch. I was unsure if it was actually going to be able to form out of that cluster in Houston. It looks like it has actually managed to form, so that's why we have the enhanced risk in place. That's your main event right there. Main threat with that will be 70 to possibly even isolated 80-mile-an-hour winds. Hail upwards of 1.5-inch hail will be a possibility, and just keep an eye on it. What's severe in Florida? Yeah, that's been in Florida, buddy. That has been in Florida. That literally expires in 14 minutes, so I'll keep watching it, but I don't plan on going live again tonight, so I'll see you guys hopefully in tomorrow's live stream. I have something going on tomorrow, bit of a flash warning, by the way, so I hope I'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to try to be live tomorrow. It might not be the normal 6 p.m. time, so I'll see you guys when I see you guys next. Stay safe, watch severe weather. Goodbye. Have a great rest of your night. Day. stay safe, watch severe weather, and I'll see you guys sometime in another live stream. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.